Very first video of 2024. And this is the ACT because the state of Tennessee wants 40% of you guys to test at the ACT benchmarks, which is going to be a lofty goal for your group, but you need practice. All right, so this is off an old McGraw-Hill ACT test, which is pretty close to the real thing. The circumference of a circle is 4/3 pi inches. How many inches long is the radius? So it's just a simple formula. It says circumference is 2 pi r. I like to think of that as smiley face 2 pi r. And I know that c is 4/3 of pi. Now we have to equal 2 pi r. I'm going to put a little multiplier symbol in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by pi. I'm going to rewrite this as 4 pi over 3. I'm going to put that 2 pi down here. Because division happens in a denominator. Anyways, on the right-hand side, the pi's cancel, the 2's cancel. We have a radius left. And the pi's are gone on the left-hand side. And then 4 over 6 is my answer, which reduces down to 2/3. So it's not too hard. 48 is kind of interesting. It says, if the function f satisfies the equation f of x plus y is f of x plus f of y for every pair of real numbers x and y, then what are the possible values of f of 1? Well, if you plug a real number in, you're going to get a real number back. It doesn't necessarily have to be positive because, you know, f of 1 could return -2 in one and 1 in the other. But I suspect most kids would pick something between h and k. But it's going to have an output of any real number. That's just what it is. You plug a number into something, you get a number back. The area of a trapezoid below is 24 square inches. The altitude is 3 inches, and the length of one base is 5. What is the length B of the other base in inches? So the area of a trapezoid, which I've tried to get some of y'all to memorize, is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. Seems like Chris Mann was always complaining about wanting me making them memorize this formula, and then it was on the ACT. That's why I ask you guys to memorize this thing. So I know the area is 24. So we'll put a 24 there. One of your bases is 5. We'll just call that base 1. I do not know base 2. The altitude, which is height, is 3. And there's my setup. So it's not too terribly hard. It's really not. I'm going to double both sides to cause those to cancel out. It'll give me 48 on the left. The right is 5 plus base 2 times 3. So now I'm going to divide by 3. 48 over 3 should be 16. I get 16 equals 5 plus base 2. And if I subtract 5, I get 11. So base 2 is 11. Simple geometry. All right, what do we got in 50? 50, we have an exponential equation. If a, b, and c are consecutive positive integers, and 2 to the a times 2 to the b times 2 to the c is 512, then 2a plus 2 to the a plus 2 to the b plus 2 to the c is equal to what? Boy, that'd be kind of tricky for a lot of kids to figure out, wouldn't it? All right, let's see what they have here. They have 2 to the a times 2 to the b times 2 to the c is 512. 512 is, I want to say, maybe 2 to the 9th. It is. I wouldn't double check myself in a calculator. So this becomes 2 to the 9th. Now, we are multiplying like terms. When you multiply like terms, you add the exponential space. So 2 to the a plus b plus c is 2 to the 9th. Throw away the bases. A plus B plus C is 9. Now they use this idea of consecutive positive integers. That'd be things like 1, 2, and 3. But I need to add 9. So 2, 3, and 4. I know that 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9. So I have A, I have B, and I have C. So now I can figure out what this is. 2 squared plus 2 cubed plus 2 to the 4th. So that's going to be 4 plus 8 plus 16, which is what, 28? Rough little problem. It was. For a lot of kids, that'd be a pretty hard little problem. 54. ABCD is a trapezoid that is bisected by line PQ. Bisected means you are cutting it in half, which is parallel to lines AB and DC. Put my little parallel symbols in there. If the length of line DP is 8 units and PA is 12, and the length of line A to B is 36, what is the length of P to Q? All right, so what we have here is we have similar trapezoids. We have a little trapezoid, looks like this. And then we have the whole blasted thing. Little trapezoid has a side of 8. The big trapezoid here has a side of 20 and 36. And we're going to use what's called proportional reasoning. I want to know what this P to Q is. So I'm just going to call it X. And I'm going to set up a proportion. 20 compares to 8, as 36 compares to X. Now I'm going to reduce, because I don't want to do all this math in my head. 20 over 8, so what, 5 over 2, I think? 5 over 2, both divisible by 4, is 36 over X. I'm going to cross multiply. 72 equals 5X. So X is 72, whoops, fifths, which is not an option. Did I reduce right? Both divisible by 4. Oh, I see. Milbrath messed up. I did this wrong. Not perfect. This is only going to be a 12. I redrew the entire figure, which I didn't need to do. I just needed to redraw the top piece. That's all I needed to redraw. Anyways, back to my proportional reasoning. This 36 compares to that X, as this 12 compares to 8. And that'll do it. Still going to reduce. 36 over X, 12 over 8 is going to be 3/2. So now I cross multiply. 72 equals 3X, divide by 3, and X is 24. Been a while since I've done one of those. 55. The total weekly profit P in dollars from producing and selling X units of a certain product is given by the function profit as a function of X is 225X minus 165X plus C, where C is a constant. If 75 units were produced, and were sold last week for a profit of $3,365, what is the value of C? So again, this is my X, and this is P. So 3365 equals 225 times 75 minus 165 times 75, and I'm distributing this negative here, minus C. Then I just do some calculations here, and I'll be done with it. So I'm going to evaluate this, see what that is. I got 4,500. Now I'm just going to move the 4,500 over. And I'm going to do 3,365 minus 4,500. And I came up with negative 1,135, and that's negative C. When I divide that negativity out, I get choice C. And there is your ACT for 2024, the first one for 5.4. Hope you enjoyed the video. By all means, like and subscribe. Or not. I don't care.